Okay, guys, we're back with another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest. I'm Seth from the Lone Stunner podcast, and this is episode 28 of my side quest. Now, as usual, we're probably going to talk about a wide range of topics. We're going to start off with some boxing, and then we're going to go into some movie articles slash news. First of all, we're going to talk about Keyshawn Davis, his recent win last night for the WBO lightweight championship, where we saw him beat this Ukrainian guy, Berinchik. Berinchik. Um, Berinchik getting into this fight looked pretty bad, to be honest. Keyshawn Davis kind of came in, bulldozed him, knocked him out in the fourth round, dropped him in the second, dropped him in the third, and then finished him in the fourth. A really good performance from Keyshawn Davis. Now, Keyshawn Davis is a boxer that I've known about for a while, mostly because of his amateur pedigree. So I was familiar with him as an amateur, and then obviously know he turned pro. Didn't really hear much about him. Obviously, he's fighting often, racking up wins. He's now 13-0 after turning pro. When did he turn pro? In 2021. So, what's that? 13 fights in 4 years. You know, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's an okay sort of rate. He fought three times in 2024. Of course, all wins. He's still unbeaten. Now, a WBO lightweight world champion. Now, this fight, it was always going to be an easy fight for Keyshawn Davis. I'm not familiar with Berinchik, to be fair. I say it was always going to be an easy fight. I'm not that familiar with Berinchik, so I'm not sure if like his resume is an impressive resume. Maybe this is a bit of an upset, but for me, I was always thinking that Keyshawn Davis, he's shown in previous fights that he can deal with stepping up in opponents. You know, he's an intercontinental champion. He's the well, I don't know if he is now. I don't think he is now, but he was the WBO Intercontinental Lightweight Champion and IBF Intercontinental Lightweight Champion. So it makes sense him having to jump up to world champion now, and obviously successfully winning that fight in dominant fashion. To be fair to him, obviously Keyshawn Davis, like I said, has got big amateur pedigree. He was in the 2020 Olympics. I believe he got a silver medal. I remember watching this because he lost to Andy Cruz, another boxer with huge amateur pedigree, a Cuban boxer, I believe Andy Cruz is, also an undefeated pro. I think Andy Cruz has only got 4 or 5 wins. He's only got 4 or 5 fights, hence 4 or 5 wins. But Andy Cruz, of course, super talented amateur boxer. Same with Keyshawn Davis. Both guys were, seriously talented amateur boxers with serious pedigree. Maybe they'll meet again in the pros. Um, but as of now, Keyshawn Davis is the current WBO lightweight champion. I think lightweight's an interesting division. You've got guys like a Tevin Farmer there. You've got guys like well, Gervonta Davis is no longer in the division, but to be honest, it should be sort of within his remit to maybe cut back down to lightweight. I know he's fighting at super lightweight and trying to push welterweight and win championships there. And I understand as you get older, it's harder to once you've gone up and you get older, it's hard to come back down in those weight classes. So I appreciate that, but lightweight's an interesting division, and it's just been made even more interesting by having a guy like Keyshawn Davis now claim a world heavyweight championship. And like I said, a guy who's got a really impressive amateur pedigree. I believe won a silver medal at the World Championships and then a silver medal at the Olympics. So, he's a very serious boxer. I think there was some controversy before the fight in terms of being there's pushes at the weigh-ins and all sorts of stuff. And Keyshawn Davis was really talking some stuff leading up to this fight. Um, that's also another thing that really put him in the limelight for me. Like, this guy's talking, saying like he's gonna do all sorts of this dude, beat the brakes off this dude, all sorts, right? Which is definitely a welcome change of pace comparing it to typical boxing. Yeah, we're gonna find out Saturday night, and yeah, I've trained really hard. I'm just hoping to go out. Yeah, bro, I'm not trying to hear all that, bro. Keyshawn Davis, get in your bag, bro, and talk your shit, bro. And that's what he done, and he backed it up with a dominant win. So, fair play to Keyshawn Davis, and I'll be super interested to see where he goes next. There's a lot of good fights at lightweight for him. Potentially some unification bouts. I imagine he'll get a couple title defenses before his management or his promoter will look to sort of do unification bouts, because he's still only 13-0. He's a seasoned boxer, but he's not a seasoned pro. There is a difference. Even though he has been fighting in these intercontinental championship matches quite a bit, he's been going 10 rounds quite often. Well, not quite often, but he's gone 10 rounds a few times. So we know. I mean, there's no doubt about his talent. and his skill. In my opinion, there's no doubt about that. I think often with boxers like this, it's just about the intangibles, as in, can you do it on the big stage consistently? And we've seen Keyshawn Davis. He's fought at the Olympics. He's now fought for a world championship, and he's done it. Let's see where he goes next. But super interesting boxer. I really like his style. He looked a lot bigger than Borincic as well. I would notice as well. I think he looked a lot bigger than Borincic, and like I said, just bulldozed him. Landed big shots at will, put him down a couple of times, and like I said, put him down in the second, put him down in the third, and then knocked him out in the fourth. He looked a lot bigger than him. Borincic didn't really look like he had much for Keyshawn Davis. So yeah, we'll see what's next for both of them. Obviously, I'm still going to be stay tuned for Keyshawn Davis because he's a fighter that I really like. So yeah, we'll see what's next for him. And next we've got a article from Screen Rant. And they're saying 10 superhero movies that were so bad they were good. Now I'm gonna look through some of these ones. There'll probably be films that I haven't seen because if they're so bad, I probably haven't even seen them. But the films that I have seen, I'm gonna see if I agree with that they're so bad they're good, or do I agree they're just bad films, or do I think they're just good films? So number 10, they've got Will Smith's Hancock in 2008. Now I remember when this film came out, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really entertaining movie where Will Smith put in a really sort of funny and charismatic sort of Will Smith-esque performance in this one. So I really enjoyed it. It was one that I remember I would have been a lot younger when it came out, obviously 2008. I remember I got it on DVD or something and I would watch it. I'd get this right. So I got it for Christmas or something for my birthday around this time. I'll be playing it on my Xbox 360. I'd put the DVD in and watch it on my Xbox 360. So that was fun. Back when you could do that. I mean, you can still do that now. You probably couldn't because most of these games now don't even have disc drives. Most of these gaming consoles don't even have disc drives nowadays. So even if you wanted to watch a DVD, you'd have no way of doing it unless I literally got out my Xbox 360 and used that as a DVD player, which I know a lot of people do. A lot of people just use their old consoles as DVD players. And that's something else I want to talk about as well. Probably not in this episode, but in a future SideQuest episode, but talking about the importance of physical media, because you're reliant on these Netflixes and Disney Pluses. The second that say an actor does something controversial and they decide they want to take down all of these guys' movies, you can never watch them again. But if you own the DVD, you own that, right? You can watch that whenever you want. Turn it off whenever you want. You own it, right? But if you've on Netflix and Netflix decides to take it off, I remember they used to do that all the time with 50 Cent's film, Get Rich or Die Trying, right? That would sometimes it'd be on Netflix, sometimes it wouldn't. I'm like, bro, I just want to watch Get Rich or Die Trying, and it's not even on Netflix. But it's been on Netflix before. But when they want to, they'll just take it down. When they want to put it back on, they'll put it back on. But I'm the paying customer. I want to watch what I want to watch, right? But yeah. Back to Hancock, right? Hancock was a super fun film, a film that I really liked. I guess some people maybe didn't like it. I guess. I thought it was... people say that the film's plot was unoriginal, but I kind of liked it, because you don't really see films like this now, and I don't think you was really seeing it back then, because he's a guy who's technically a superhero. He's got superpowers, but he's not a superhero in terms of the traditional way, in terms of a guy being that he's in super good shape. You want to look up to him. You don't want to look up to this guy. This guy's a drunk. He's just got powers, but he's not a superhero. So there is that's what makes the film unique to me, and that's what I enjoy about films, is the uniqueness. Don't stick to a formula. Don't do things because you think it's what you need to do. Sometimes in a movie, main characters or the story calls for a bit of uniqueness, a bit of flair, something different, something out of the box, right? And at times, I think Hancock kind of perfectly encapsulated that, particularly with the character portrayal of Hancock, right? Next. Okay, Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance. So this is the second Ghost Rider film. As far as I know, I have not watched this film. I did watch the original 2007 Ghost Rider, which was average, I would say. And the thing is, what would have been originally regarded as a bad film in the original Ghost Rider film, when you look back on and you compare it to something like the Marvels, for example, you're like, oh well, Ghost Rider wasn't that bad, but like, it actually was at the time. You're like, this is kind of goofy, it's kind of weird. Even though I really like Ghost Rider as a character and Nicolas Cage's performance, he really hams it up. He really gives it his all, as Nick Cage is known to do. He gives it his all, and it leads to some moments that are unintentionally funny, but some intense moments. The Ghost Rider sort of character design is amazing. The head, the flames, the skull is amazing to me. Ghost Rider, for that reason, in terms of, and in addition to Ultimate Alliance, Ghost Rider, one of my favourite characters. Like I said, because of Ultimate Alliance and because of the 2007 movie, I've never watched Ghost Rider 2 Spirit of Vengeance. From the reviews that I've seen and like videos I've watched about it, it seems like a pretty bad film. It was during a sort of weird time in superhero movies where it wasn't a direct sequel, but it sort of was, because everyone knew that this is the same Ghost Rider from the 2007 movie, but it sort of was and wasn't, because some of the supported characters were different, but you still got Nicolas Cage as the as Ghost Rider, right? So really weird, but I can't really say too much about this film because I've never watched it, right? What else have we got? Blade Trinity, another one which I don't remember too well. I get the sort of premise of the film where it's Blade and some other guys, and obviously we know Ryan Reynolds is in that film, and apparently they had huge bust-ups on set and they don't really like each other. I don't know if that's how true any of that was, because obviously we saw Wesley Snipes Blade in Deadpool Wolverine. But yeah, I mean, the original Blade films, you know, I remember watching the first and second one, and it's, again, at the time, you may not have thought these were amazing films, but these were films that, again, they were trendsetters. They had a lot of action. It was the late 90s, early 2000s, so the CGI is going to be pretty bad, considering how ambitious these guys want to be as well in terms of character designs and the gore and the action. The CGI is going to be bad. Right, CGI is going to be bad. But really set the pace for future superhero films to come out. So Blade really was a trendsetter there. The first one was a lot of fun. The second one was a lot of fun as well, from what I remember. But again, Blade Trinity is one I can't really speak on because I haven't really watched it. So let's see what else we've got here. Any other ones? Oh, Morbius, Jesus. Okay. So, I'll be honest, Morbius shouldn't be on this list because it's not a film that's so bad it's good. It's a film that's so bad it's just really sort of boring. You know, it's a film that I have tried to watch. Believe me, guys, I've had every intention of trying to watch this film, but every time I try and watch it, it's just so boring. I just end up falling asleep. You know, I'll leave it at that. Every time I try and watch this film, I just end up falling asleep. Now, this is a film that I actually really wanted to like, because I remember around the time it came out. So it came out in 2022. It came out around my birthday. It got delayed. So it was originally supposed to be out for my birthday, but got delayed until April. My birthday's in March. It got delayed until April, so I couldn't watch it for my birthday. When I went to the cinema for my birthday, I couldn't watch it there. This was a blessing in disguise, as I ended up watching The Batman, and The Batman's one of my favourite films ever. But I didn't watch Morbius in cinema, and thank God, because this film, the trailer looked amazing. I'll be honest, and like I really was sold on the trailer. I was like, wow, this trailer looks amazing. This is going to be a great film. This was one of the key moments in my life where I was like, okay, I can't keep getting tricked by these trailers, right? This trailer and then a number of following Marvel trailers that came out over the next couple of years were like, yeah, I'm not getting tricked by these trailers no more. These films are probably going to be bad. If they are good, then that's a positive surprise, but they're probably going to be bad, and just manage my expectations going into it. Morbius was the start of that for me. So yeah, not a film I would put on this list because it's not so bad it's good, it's just bad. It's just bad. Okay. Oh yeah, here we go. So we've got 2003's Daredevil, Ben Affleck's Daredevil. Now this was a film I actually really enjoyed, where I hear a lot of people hate on it, and rightfully so, because there are goofy moments in this, and overall it's really not an amazing film. But again, you have to understand, when I'm watching this, I'm super young, I'm not that familiar with all these superheroes. I find out about Daredevil, he's in Ultimate Alliance 2, I can use him in Ultimate Alliance. You know, I'm using Daredevil, I'm seeing the film, he's Ben Affleck, his suit, at the time, looking back on it, the suit was crazy, but at the time I'm like, this is a cool suit, it's all red, It's tiny horns. It's really cool, but I mean, looking back on it, this is like a gimp suit or something. It's like a leathered out gimp suit, and you've got Ben Affleck playing Daredevil in this film, and I liked they tried to be ambitious at times with the when they were doing like the warping of the audio with some of these fight scenes because he's blind, so like warping the audio. They did that, but it was a weird film, but I liked it. Obviously, introduced us to Elektra, who then got a sequel. Oh, no, not a sequel. Got her own origin film, which would go down as probably the worst film, one of the worst films I've ever seen, one of the worst Marvel films ever. Um, but yeah, Daredevil was a fine film. Daredevil was a fine film. It's not gonna knock your socks off. It's no Avengers Infinity War. It's no Far From Home. You know, it's no Spider Man 2. There's nothing like that, but it's fine. It's a fine film. You can watch it, get some fun out of it. You've got the scene with Elektra and Daredevil, which is crazy, goofy as hell. That's one of the worst part of the film, where they've just got some sexual tension, dancing, fight scene, really weird, but happens, and the film was okay in my opinion. This is the sort of film that should exactly be on this type of list. That it was so bad it was good, to be honest. In a lot of sense was just really a middling film. Nothing special, nothing crazy happens. There's no intergalactic threat. I mean, it is sort of what you'd expect from a Daredevil film, where it's sort of interpersonal drama, smaller stakes compared to an Avengers film. It's smaller stakes. It's more of a local film, but that's the nature of the Daredevil character. He's a lawyer. He's a Hell's Kitchen neighborhood hero. So he's going to be beefing with Kingpin, the big black guy, and he's also beefing with what's his name, Bullseye. I was going to say Killshot. Bullseye is played by Colin Farrell, who actually put in a decent-ish performance in this. I mean, Colin Farrell's an amazing actor. He plays the Penguin, an amazing actor. But this was the sort of performance where it could have very easily been very bad. But Colin Farrell's a good actor, so he's able to sort of muster up some good scenes, some intense moments, and sort of build the stakes there. But the plot overall is paper thin, and it's nothing amazing in terms of a film, but it's okay, right? But yeah, these other films that are on the list, I haven't seen them, so I'm not even going to talk about them. So that's been it from me. Episode 28 of the Seth Solo Cycles talked about Keyshawn Davis winning the WBO World Lightweight Championship, and also talked about some superhero films that are so bad they're good. Talked about Hancock, talked about Blade Trinity, talked about Daredevil, and talked about Morbius. So yeah, that's it from me, and I'm out. Peace.